What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today, well, I've had to push the do a second Digimon video button. I didn't mean to, I didn't really intend to, but you see, I was talking about BT6 in the previous video, and I was explaining all about all the different cards that were coming, and then we got to the dash packs, and I was like, hey, we're getting these 6 cards Japan hasn't even had yet. They're alternate arts. And then I went to DigimonCard.dev to just double check I was talking about the right alternate arts. And I searched for Geomon and I was like, oh. Yeah, these aren't alternate art cards, ladies and gentlemen. The dash packs coming in BT6 are actual full-on proper job new cards, which have not been released in Japan, and as it stands are only available in the dash packs for BT6. And obviously Japan has already had BT6, they're going to have to find a different way to get these. But these are new cards with new effects, so I thought it was only fair that we did a new video where we could sit and look through them. And I want to start off with that Geomon, because this really looks good. It is also worth bearing in mind these are in the dash packs, which are 1 per 12 packs of BT6, so you buy a box of 24 packs, you get 2 dash packs. Now the Geomon here, free cost to play normally, 0 cost to Digivolve, 2000 power, all standard, all expected, that's what level 3s have nowadays. But it has a skill whereby when you are attacking, you draw a card. Which is nuts! Like, genuinely nuts. Because again, if we go back to DigimonCard.dev and we look at level 3 Digimon and we look at level 3 Digimon that have draw options, there's really not very much. There's the Gabamon from BT1 that when you play it lets you draw a card. There's Tapiamon from BT2 that when deleted lets you draw a card. There's Labramon from BT4 that when you play it lets you draw a card. And then there's my boy Pulsemon that lets you draw a card if you've got 3 or more security, but not otherwise. And then there are a couple of others that I don't really count because they're inheritable skills or conditional or blah blah blah. I suppose maybe the Kudamon from BT1 as well. When you are attacking, if you have 4 or fewer cards in your hand, you get to draw a card. I suppose that one deserves to be mentioned. But my point here is that there's not much in terms of actual level 3s being viable as draw options. There really isn't very much at all. So seeing this coming in here is like a genuinely legitimate big deal. I mean, if you're playing one of those rookie rush decks where you're basically just playing rookies, having this, you're going to be attacking and basically giving up that Digimon anyway. That's how Rookie Rush works. You attack knowing your Digimon's going to go down, but you're playing such a wide deck that it doesn't really matter because you're continually replacing them. That's the point. So you get to draw a card while you do it. That sounds pretty gosh darn good. Or even just in any red deck where, you know what, I want to draw a card right now, so I'm going to give up my Geomon. And you never know. You might have a resting 1000 power Digimon on the other side of the field. Unlikely, but possible. And you never know. You might attack in the stack and hit a security card or a tamer. An option card, sorry, or a tamer as a security. And then you'll survive. But having this as a draw when you attack is genuinely great. Now, Gabamon comes around, free cost to play normally, 0 cost to Digivolve, 2000 power. So again, that's all about right. And when you play, you reveal the top 5 cards of your deck, and you add 1 tamer card among them to your hand, placing the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. So essentially, if you want to go and find yourself a tamer card, this one will do very nicely indeed. Really is as simple as that. If you want to find yourself a tamer and you're playing a blue deck, this is a pretty gosh darn good way to go about it. Obviously, if you're not playing a tamer heavy deck, this really isn't going to be a good option, but this will work. Now, it is worth pointing out we do have the Strabamon from BT4, that when you play it, you reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Gabamon reveals 5. And you add a Digimon card with hybrid and or a blue tamer to your hand. So Strabamon only looks at 3 and only gets blue tamers, whereas Gabamon looks at 5 and will get any tamer. But Strabamon can also get a hybrid card, so in a hybrid deck, bearing in mind hybrid decks do play tamers, because that's kind of the point, Strabamon will be a better option. But if you're just looking at playing a blue deck and finding tamers, and you're not too worried about hybrids, this is a genuinely good card. And frankly, right now, we're 2 for 2. Geomon and Gabamon could absolutely see a bunch of play. I should mention, actually, while I'm here, the images they've uploaded on the official website are not that clear, so I'm doing the best I can with the images that we've got. Please bear in mind, we don't have perfect images, so I am doing my best here, but do bear in mind, we don't have great images. They've only uploaded one image. It's not that high quality. They are kind of blurry. So if I do make any mistakes in my readings, I want to say translations, but not really translating. If I do make any mistakes, please forgive me. And obviously, if I do make a mistake, there'll be a follow-up video correcting it. So Kudamon here, free cost to play normally, 0 cost to Digivolve, 1,000 power. Well, if it's going to have 1,000 power, there had better be something to hang your hat on, because otherwise this is not going to be as good. Well, it seems to be that it's actually built around Kentaurusmon. And I have gone and just done a little Google search, and it turns out that Kudamon can end up evolving into Kentaurusmon, so this is thematically appropriate. You may return 1 Kentaurusmon from your trash to the bottom of your deck to activate Recovery +1. Now, we all know at this stage we don't draw fast enough in Digimon. So the reality of actually being able to put a Kentaurusmon at the bottom of your deck and then draw back into it, not high. You're probably never going to get back to Kentaurusmon here. However, you get to recover 1. And basically, this is an absolute no-brainer. It's a play skill. If you're playing a Kentaurusmon deck, you're playing 4 of these. Because it's basically when you play, recover 1. As long as there's a Kentaurusmon in your trash. This is nuts. A free cost to play level 3 that can recover 1. Now, this is not quite as adaptable as your Geomon and your Gabamon we looked at, because you've got to have a Kentaurusmon in your trash. But if you do, this again, we're free for free here. These cards are really, really good. Like, really good. And actually, there is an inheritable skill here as well. When it is deleted, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 1,000 power for the turn. Which, again, is just nuts. And don't get me wrong, it's not great. It's minus 1,000 power. That's not huge. This is not a huge lowering of power, but that doesn't really matter, honestly, because the only important thing is you're lowering power, and that could be lowering by 1,000 power to break a power tie in an upcoming battle, or it could be combined with other lowering power, which we know Yellow love to do, to get a bigger deletion. I don't really know, and I don't really care. It's a cool inheritable deletion skill, but if you're playing a Kentaurusmon deck, you are going to want to play Kudamon here. And honestly, there is an argument, a very strong argument, that this just made Kentaurusmon better. Incidentally, the one I've popped up on the screen throughout this discussion is the only one we've had so far. Could this be hinting at another one coming in the future? I don't know, maybe. We've got Wizardmon moving up into level 4. This is a 5 cost to play normally, 2 cost to Digivolve, 5,000 power, nothing out of the ordinary. And it's got an inheritable skill, and wonderful artwork incidentally, but an inheritable skill on your turn, once per turn, when you play an option card, you gain a memory. Cool. And I hate to be a little bit reductive here, but if you're playing a purple deck, and you want to rely on option cards, do it. Because bearing in mind, we've got Lilithmon, that on your turn, when you play an option card, you gain 2 memory. And that Lilithmon loop deck has been getting a fair amount of hype lately. Well, a bit more before BT6 dropped, but still, it's a deck people are excited about. So now, not only are you gaining 2 memory when you play an option card, but as long as Lilithmon has digivolved from Wizardmon, and might I suggest that's a decent idea, now when you use an option card, you gain 3 memory. Which is ridiculous. Like, genuinely ridiculous. Lilithmon was already great. Now we've got an inheritable skill that goes and makes it even better. And again, I've gone through 4 of the 6, right? And all 4 of them so far are legitimately good. Sure, Wizardmon needs to be played in a Lilithmon deck. and Gabamon needs Tamers, and Kudamon needs Kentaurusmon, but these are all legitimately viable cards. These are not throwaway promo cards. These are legit cards, ladies and gentlemen, that, if I may be so bold, we should be getting a little bit excited about. Now, Chrysalimon is coming along here. 4 cost to play normally, 2 cost to Digivolve, 5,000 power. Again, nothing out of the ordinary. And on all turns, all of your Digimon with the same name as this Digimon gain decoy black or white. And that is to say that when you would have a black or white Digimon deleted by an opponent's effect, you may delete this Digimon to stop one of those Digimon being destroyed. Incidentally, this is only the 3rd Digimon with decoy we've ever seen. We saw Mamamon and Macmon in BT6 as black Digimon, and that was it. They were the only ones we'd ever seen, and now we've actually got 2 more coming in, which I find very interesting. And obviously worth pointing out that those were both black only. This is black or white, but obviously this is for Diaboromon, and Diaboromon is a white Digimon. And this is clearly meant to be Diaboromon. We've seen Chrysalimon and the whole evolution line, really. They tend to have these skills whereby one of your Digimon with the same name as this one, well, yeah, okay. But basically it's for Diaboromon tokens. Because the whole point of Diaboromon decks is that you play a bunch of Diaboromon tokens and then you do stuff with them. So it basically means that you can get up into Diaboromon and then start just giving all of them decoy. And if all of your Diaboromon have decoy, then all your tokens have decoy. And that means that when any of your black or white Digimon would be deleted, you can just get rid of a token instead of losing an actual Digimon, which is crazy. Like, Diaboromon decks keep getting extra tricks, and again, I think if you're playing a Diaboromon deck, having the option of turning all of your tokens into ones that can save any of your Digimon from being deleted by effects. It is by effects, not battles, remember. That is nuts. That is really, really good. And then we get to HerculesKabuterimon. Now, this is, of course, a level 6, a big bad level 6. This could be cool. Now, this one I struggled a little bit with. I knew it was kind of suspending and all of that, and I was really struggling a little bit. So shout out to Henry Pham and Derek McEldowney, sorry for the pronunciation there, over on Facebook, and also to the lovely, someone just tweeted at me, Matthew Shafik, who have all given me the same reading of it, which was roughly in line with about where I was, but I was struggling a little bit with it, so thank you dudes, I really appreciate the help. So what we've got here is 11 cost to play normally, 3 cost to Digivolve, 11,000 power, which is absolutely standard for a level 6. And when you Digivolve, you may choose to either suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, or suspend 2 of your opponent's Digimon if they have 5,000 power or less. Okay. It's fine. But I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not loving this like I'm loving some of the others. And that makes me a little bit sad. Because I don't know if I really want to actually play around with this. If I'm honest with you. There are other level 6s. Like Mega Gargamon, when I Digivolve, I can suspend one of my opponent's Digimon. And they don't unsuspend during my opponent's next unsuspend phase. And on your turn, if your opponent has any suspended Digimon in play, you gain security attack +1. Now, this is slightly more expensive to play, I admit. And you don't have the option of suspending 2 smaller Digimon. But overall, I would much, much rather play this one if I'm building a green deck. So I think this is the most disappointing of them. I don't think it's terrible. But whereas the other 5 of them are all either good or in the right deck, good, this one just seems, I mean, I love the artwork. The art is amazing. And it's cool and it's fun. But I think if I'm going around trying to pick level 6s for a green deck, I don't think I'm going to stumble onto this one and stay there. And I'm sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. I really am. But there we go, 6 new Digimon cards that we are actually getting before Japan, and these are not just random throwaway cards, except maybe HerculesKabuterimon. But other than that, these are not just throwaway cards, these ones are good. But now it's over to you guys. I want to know what you think about this. I want to know how good you think it is. I want to know how excited you are. I want to know which of these 6 is your favourite. I basically want to know anything you want to tell me. So go nuts in the comment section, but be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk Digimon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.